Welcome you all for the Python with Magicbit online program. This program is planned to conduct for 7 days starting from today on each Friday at 7:30 p.m.
In parallel with this program, we are conducting another program called Scratch with Magicbit on each Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We are online for 7 days. I am the one who conduct both the sessions Python with Magicbit and Scratch with Magicbit, and all the details regarding these two programs will be shared within the same WhatsApp group. As the program is related with the Magicbit, first of all, let's see what is this Magicbit is. Magicbit is a tiny computer that can be programmed to do smart innovation with different emerging technologies like different programming languages, robotics, Internet of Things, or simply we call IoT, and to learn basics of electronics. And this Magicbit is 100% Sri Lankan product. That means all the hardware parts, software related things, and all the programming related parts, everything regarding this Magicbit is made in Sri Lanka. So this is a 100% Sri Lankan product. This Magicbit is a development board which is similar to the other development boards that you have heard like Arduino Uno, Microbit, ESP32, like that. So now let's see what are the components available on this Magicbit. And this is the front side of it. In the front side, at the middle, you can see there is a OLED screen, and on the other sides of the OLED screen, two push buttons are there, and in between the OLED screen and the right side push button, there is a LDR. On top of the LDR, we have the buzzer, which can use as a speaker to get some sound outputs. And next to the buzzer, we have the black color wheel. We call it as the potentiometer, which is a variable resistor. And next to the potentiometer, we have the battery connector. That means we can power up this Magicbit by connecting or by using the batteries as well. And then you can see there are 4 black color ports on the either sides of the Magicbit, which can use to connect module connectors or other sensors as the modules to the Magicbit. And also at the bottom there is another extension port which you can use to make some external circuits with the help of jumper wires and breadboards and all. Those are the components that are available on the front side of the Magicbit. If you go to the back side of it, in the middle, that silver color metal part, that is what we call the ESP32 microcontroller, or which act as the brain of the Magicbit. Just like that we are having a brain, Magicbit also should have a brain in order to function everything within that. There are 2 motor drivers included in the Magicbit, so you can control 2 motors using the Magicbit without using any external motor drivers as the circuit. In the top there is a reset button, and the USB port is there to connect with the USB cable. And directly below the ESP32 microcontroller, there are 4 onboard LEDs attached with 4 different colors. So if you're planning to do any activity regarding LEDs, you can use these onboard LEDs. And below the LEDs, the extension port is there, which you can see in the front side as well. If you check with the front side, the port names are differ from each other. That means the extension port has 2 layers with 2 different pin names. So you can use this extension port to make external circuitries with the help of jump wires, any other sensors, and with the help of breadboards and all. With those components, now let's come to the pin configuration of the Magicbit. If you check for whatever the components attached in the Magicbit, there is a pin relevant for that. So that relevant pin is marked in the PCB of the Magicbit. As an example, if you check the potentiometer, the pin number 39 is marked near that. That means the pin relevant to the potentiometer is 39. So you don't need to make these pin numbers by heart. If you need to make the programs related to these components, you can use the user guide within the Magicbit package. or else you can check the pinout that is available in the Magicbit website as well. After that short description about the Magicbit, now let's come to our next topic, Python. So, have you heard about the Python term or have you worked in Python programming language? Anyhow, the Python programming language is a bit advanced language that everyone can't understand this, especially the kids below age level 12 and below. So, throughout this program, actually, we are not going to use the Python programming language. Instead of that, we are using the language called MicroPython. So, actually, this Python and the MicroPython both are almost same, but there are some considerable differences. Out of those differences, the major difference that we are going to consider is the syntaxes. The syntaxes means some kind of special words that are using within the programming languages which are unique for everyone in the world. We can't change those things as our wish because they are some unique names that are using within these different programming languages. That is what we call the syntaxes. So anyway, in order to make the programs using this Python or MicroPython languages, we need to have a software that is installed in our computer. So that software we are going to use within this program. We call it as Tony IDE. The symbol is TH. So now let's install this Tony IDE to our computer. So open a new tab in your browser and search as Tony IDE. When you search like that, you will get some search results like this. So go to the search result that is given from the tony.org, which is the official website of Tony. Now here, depending on the type of your computer OS, that means Windows, Mac or Linux, you have to download the correct version of the setup file for the Tony ID to your computer. Once the file get downloaded, go to the downloads page of your computer and double click on that Tony IDE 4.1.4 that file to install it on your computer. So you have to follow some steps to install this. Here you have to agree to the agreement, and after that tick here, then you can create a desktop shortcut in your desktop. After finishing the next few steps, it will start to install. This process will take few minutes. After the installation of the Tony ID, the shortcut for the Tony ID will create in your desktop with the symbol TH like this. Double click on the shortcut and open the Tony IDE like this. So this is how the interface of the Tony IDE looks like. In top there are a few menus and some symbols, and then in the middle white color part is for to type the code or to make the program, and then the bottom part is we call the serial interpreter, which we can have some serial outputs. So now after installing the Tony IDE, we need to add the MicroPython firmware to our Magicbit device. In order to add that firmware, first you need to open a new tab in your browser and you have to search as Magicbit Web Uploader. So click on the first search result to get into the Magicbit Web Uploader, which look like this. Now plug the Magicbit to the computer from the USB cable, and here in the uploader click on the orange color connect button and select the USB serial port appear in the pop-up. If any of you doesn't get this serial port in the pop-up, then click on the cancel button in the pop-up and download the drivers that are given within the green color button as install drivers in the web upload. It will download the file to the computer. Go to the downloads page of your computer and install that file. Then your computer will be getting the drivers to detect the USB serial ports. So unplug the Magicbit from the USB cable with the computer and replug it and click on the connect button again and proceed with the next steps. Once the Magicbit get connected with the uploader, the connect button will change to disconnect and these 5 options will appear on the platform. So as we are going to work with the MicroPython platform, so you have to upload the MicroPython firmware to the Magicbit. So click on the 4th option MicroPython and wait until this white color bar completes up to the 100%. Once it is getting completed up to the 100%, that means the MicroPython firmware has been completely uploaded to the Magicbit. At that time, you will get this kind of a pop-up saying that the firmware uploading is successful. So you can OK it and click on the disconnect button to disconnect the Magicbit with the uploader, and also you can close the uploader tab as well. Then come back to the Tony IDE to make the connection with Magicbit and the Tony IDE. Here in the Tony, click on the Run menu and then click on the Configure Interpreter, the first option in the Run menu. Then the Interpreter tab of the Tony Options page will open. Here, in the first selection list, you have to select the MicroPython ESP32 option. And then in the circuit selecting option, you have to select the available serial port or try to detect the port automatically option. After that, click on OK. Then you will see the red color text that was in the interpreter part goes off, and also in the above menu set, the run button or the green color play button will appear now. That means the Magicbit is successfully connected with the Tony ID. So we can start making the codes and run them to see the outputs. Okay, now we are going to do a simple activity. The activity is to display some text. So first we are going to display some text on our Tony IDE interpreter like this. So this is how the code should be. The code is a single line, and whatever the text we are given within the inverted commas will come as the output in the interpreter. Now let's see that. And in the Tony IDE, here we are going to type our code lines, and once that code is run, here in the interpreter we'll take our output. Actually, the code to display some text in the interpreter in the Tony IDE is a single line. So that single line contains the print syntax, and in the syntax, the print whole letter should be simple. If we print or if we type that P letter in capital, you will see that print word won't get purple color. So that means when we type the capital P, that is not a syntax. So if we type the simple P only, the word print get purple color, that means it is accepted as the correct syntax. So when coding in MicroPython or Python language, we have to mindful about the capital and simple letters, right? As we want, we can't change the rules in the syntaxes because they are universal. That means they are same rules for everywhere in the world. So now after the syntax, we need to put brackets in the same line, and within the brackets we have to put single quotes, and in between the single quotes we can type whatever the text we want to display. So here I will type a text as welcome all to the Python with Magicbit program, right? So once the typing is done, you can click on the play or the run button. Then at the interpreter, you will get the output as the sentence or the word or basically the text that you entered within the double quotes in the interpreter. So I'm going to run this code line. Look at here in the interpreter, I got the output, which is sentence that I wrote within the single quotes. So by using a single line with the print syntax, you can type or you can take the output of any text in the interpreter in the Tony ID using MicroPython language. So let's change the text type here and run the program again to see whether we are getting the next output as it is. So here I will type the text as hello world. So when we run it, here we get the same text hello world as the output in the interpreter. And here, though the output is coming on the interpreter, there should be a device definitely connected with the Tony IDE, like what we connected the Magicbit with the Tony, in order to get this output. If there is no device is connected, we can't have this output. We are getting an error message. Now I am going to show you how we can take such a text output into our Magicbit display. This is a simple program that I made for that. And as for today, I will put this code in the chat so you can directly copy it and paste it on your Tony ID and run to get the output. But in the next week, we will discuss this whole example from very beginning to the final output with each and every detail regarding this code and all the other components we are using. But there's one thing that I want to highlight in this code, that is this gray color text line, the line before the last line. You can see there is some set of text which is starting from the hash symbol, right? So that is how we make comments, or we put comments in Python programming or MicroPython coding. At the end of each and every line or in any line, if we start the typing, if we start the line with the hash symbol, then that line become a comment. So the comments won't affect for the code. It doesn't make any change to the final output. And why we put comments within this programming or within this code is, so later when we or someone else who is looking at this code, then he or she or else later we can understand what we have done through this code. What is the purpose of each and every line in this code? So we can comment everything at the end of the code line or at the beginning of a new line by starting the line with the hash symbol. So just to show you the final output of this code, I have opened the earlier made program for that, and now I am going to run that code directly. Oh, there I got an error message in the interpreter. So that error message is the library I added in the code is not actually added IDE. So I need to add it. So how to add those libraries to the IDE, I will discuss that part in later, in the next week in descriptively. So for the moment I will do quickly because I need to show you the output from this code. So now you will see when I run this code, the output is not there on the interpreter. But if you check the Magicbit display, I will show you it here. The output is appear on the Magicbit display. So like this, we can take the text outputs any kind of display like this. So that's all I want to discuss here in the first session of the program. And those who are wish to continue the program, and if you don't have a Magicbit, so you can visit the Magicbit official website magicbit.cc, And there you go to the shop page. In that page you can have basically 3 products. Of them, if you get the basic one, which is called the Magicbit Learner, so you can proceed with the programs Python with Magicbit and also the other one Scratch with the Magicbit. So thank you so much for joining today. Let's meet on next Friday at the same time. Goodbye.